Hello friends, I am trying to film today a camera I found in my office. So if things aren't perfect, I'm sorry, we'll make do. But I'm trying very hard not to go get like a new cell phone. We're trying hard just to make ours last as long as we can. And my phone just doesn't have a lot of storage, so sometimes it's a pain to film. But today I thought I would go with you on just some of my kitchen duties. I need to make dinner, I need to finish making bread, and I thought I would just bring you along with me. So for dinner tonight, I am going to take some of my canned pork roast, a jar of pickled banana peppers, and I'm basically gonna make Mississippi pot roast, but kind of my version because I don't have everything, and this is already cooked. So I'm gonna dump in all the juice of both. I'm gonna simmer that just on the stove for a while, and then you add in usually like ranch, like a ranch powder packet or like au jus sauce. For easy to make it, I just have to find it. So all I'm going to do is take these and a Dutch oven. I haven't decided if I'm going to turn these into like a slider sandwich style or just eat this over mashed potatoes. It's really good that way as well. So I have my handy dandy lid lifter. How cool is this? It's all wooden and pops the seals quite easy. So I can my meat in a little bit of water, so then it'll end up making a meat broth. But canning in a regular mouth jar versus like a wide mouth jar, not everything wants to come out as easy, so you kind of have to maneuver it. So there's a good amount of pork. And I have a whole bunch of meat on hand, canned, because a couple of weeks ago our freezer went out. Yay! So that was fun. I'm gonna dump this whole jar in. The typical Mississippi pot roast recipes call for pepperoncinis, but I just make pickled banana peppers because I can use them a whole bunch of different ways. And I think they taste better. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this. And then this is just some ranch powder, if I can open it. It usually takes a packet, so I'm just going to do a couple spoonfuls. Mississippi pot roast, when you do it like in the slow cooker or crock pot, it calls for butter, and that's what will help kind of break down the meat as it cooks low and slow, and butter's just good. I'm not going to add any because there is quite a bit of fat and stuff in here, and then it also calls for au jus powder. I have the broth from the meat, so I'm just not going to bother about adding it. Could I? Yes. I'm going to turn my stove on. I guess that would be helpful. What I am going to add is a little extra salt and pepper, maybe even some garlic, just because I don't season my meat when I can it. Just so that I can use it in so many different ways. If it looks like I'm using a whole lot of pepper, it's because I accidentally got fine ground pepper. So you always need like double the amount. I'm not going to add it. I'm going to add in fresh garlic over garlic powder. I am cheating right now and using this pre-minced stuff because it's just easy that way. A moment. And I'm just going to kind of mix this up without trying to splash myself. And the meat's already shredding. I'll come get you to show you. But it will be nice, easy dinner. So let me show you what it looks like. So here's what it looks like. Not very appetizing at the moment, but you can see the meat is already shredded and it's got a nice sauce already. So this will kind of turn into a gravy. And I have it on low, like 1 for my stove, and then I cannot close these. So all I'm gonna do is throw on my pot and I'll come stir it every so often and call it good. And now I need to shape my bread into some loaves. One day I will get around to sharing a video about this kind of bread. You can find the recipe online for free. It's venison for dinners sourdough master bread recipe. It's pretty awesome. We really like it in our house. So all I'm gonna do is gather it up so I can unstick it all from the bowl. Ooh. Just, you know, plop it down like so. I do like to use a pastry knife. We only have 3 drawers in our kitchen, so everything gets like shoved in that one drawer. And it's always a whole lot of fun. Always. So what I think I'm gonna do today is make 2 loaves and then like rolls, so we can eat them with dinner. I think I might make this over mashed potatoes, but I am very scientific with making. I do the eyeball method, so I am not exact at all. And I have my sweater. So what I do, now that I have it into kind of a couple pieces, I am going to more or less work them up into a ball, sort of. At least these 2 pieces I will. My other little bit, honestly, maybe I should, but what I do is you kind of let them like rest for a little bit, and I'll pull out my loaf pans, butter them. That is the key for this recipe. You need to butter your pans. And then shape them into loaves, shape some rolls, and then I need to let them rise before I can bake them. I love this butter dish. It was my husband's grandma's. It's a very common thing. Well, it's a very common pattern, the Starburst cut glass style, but I love it. It's special because it's for her. I literally just take globs of butter on my hand. That's how I will take care of it. Just spread the butter on. So I have decided to cut a little bit more off these loaves. Mainly because as I'm looking at them, they are going to be some big loaves of bread, and I mean, my family would love that, but it will also outgrow my pans pretty easy. So I like to use these stoneware pans. These ones are actually from Pampered Chef. I have loaf pans, pizza pans, cookie sheet I'm going to use is by them as well. I have found they cook the best in my electric oven. Everything glass burns really easy in our oven. I don't know, it just, maybe it heats up a little slower, so it distributes it better. It's just, it works for us. So I just kind of loosely roll my bread. It can just hang out. I am going to section off some rolls about yay big. I don't know. I am the worst for cooking instructions. I'm probably will give you more of a exact baking than I would cooking, because baking to me is still, I don't know if I want to say scary, but my brain doesn't compute baking like it does cooking. Cooking like I just did for dinner, that's pretty brainless for me, but gosh, if I were to come up with a baking recipe, no. So I take, with these, I rolled the edges under, and then you kind of just roll it in the palm of your hand, make a little roll. And I use the same technique for sourdough, yeast, whatever. Just kind of roll it up, make a ball. And I'll just do however many I'm making. And I bet you my family will inhale these tonight, because my family likes bread. We are bread eaters. I mainly make all sourdough bread, and mainly just sandwich bread, because we eat a lot of sandwiches, especially my husband and my kids. They like them a lot. Washing my hands, because I mean, that's not fun to watch, but how many people is that going to make in the bathroom? Alright, so okay, I have things I can't put today. All-time favorite kitchen towels are flour sack towels. I've gotten mine probably just at Walmart, a big pack. They're fairly cheap. They're very thin. They work great to strain things. They work great just towels, clean up. They're all cotton. You can bleach them. Some of mine are whiter, some of mine are stained. I love them, and so all I'm going to do is take these, cover my bread. It's almost 2 now. So sourdough I start the night before. It takes me a couple minutes. This all has probably taken me 10, 5, 8 minutes, really. 10 minutes, absolute max. And maybe 10 minutes this morning, so probably like 30 minutes hands-on. But I make 2 to 4 loaves of bread at a time usually. So today I'm getting 2 loaves and rolls instead of maybe like 3 loaves of bread. You know, it's pretty easy. I enjoy these kind of meals. They're easy. So all I'm probably gonna whip up later is mashed potatoes. Maybe I'll do fries. I don't know. We'll have to see. I might use our cool air fryer because sometimes I forget I have it and I can use it. So I'm gonna check back in with you guys later when I'm gonna finish up dinner. And for now, I'm gonna go do something. I don't know if I'm gonna get outside, housework, all the fun stuff I gotta do. This night for dinner, I didn't do anything. I said I was probably gonna make. Instead, we are doing green beans. And this is one of our all-time favorite ways to have green beans in our house. You heat up a cast iron skillet, put a little bit of bacon fat in, and then you pour green beans on top and lightly pan fry, saute them, add in whatever seasonings you like. It is so good. We eat them all the time. Now I use canned green beans that I have canned. So they're softer. It's like if you used, canned pea greens from the store. We enjoy the texture. Some people don't like it. This particular night, I made 2 quarts of them. Okay, that's a half gallon of green beans, and we really didn't have very many leftovers. So all I do is drain the liquid that I cooked my green beans in, or can them in, and then you heat them up. I add salt, I add pepper, and then usually garlic and onion powder. Those are my 4 go-to, don't know what I'm gonna do type of things. Those 4 seasonings work forever. And here I am again with that pepper. It looks like so much. Don't buy fine ground pepper unless you actually mean to. It's still probably one of my favorite cooking mistakes just because we keep joking. And it might look like I'm using a lot of seasonings, and that's because I am. We like our stuff seasoned. I just have such a thing against bland food, and salt and pepper, good quality salt especially, goes such a long way. Oh, and there's my rolls I'm sharing with you. This was seriously an easy dinner. The rolls, I feel like, took it up a notch, and I only did them because I was already making bread that day. And most days I do not plan out what I'm doing for dinner because that's just not how my brain works. I go pull something and decide that's gonna work, and then I make a meal around it. And I keep our house fairly well stocked, so I don't have to race out to get anything. Now here's how I am plating up dinner. I did end up decide to make these into sliders, so I just sliced the bread. I probably could have cooked these rolls just a tad longer than I did, uh, but I don't remember what was happening this night. Something. It got crazy. So just slice them in half, and then I plate them up with the meat, and I believe I put cheese on them as well. I guess we shall see. But all I remember is this was delicious, and then the leftover meat was really, really good on a salad later. The pepperoncinis, or I used pickled banana peppers. There was something in the seasoning that was extra vinegary. Maybe I just used more vinegar than before, but it was like that extra peppery vinegar taste, and it was so good. So we really enjoy it. So a hefty thing of shredded pork, top it up, and it was so good. And then just a big old pile of green beans. We eat green beans a lot in our house. It's probably our top vegetable. So there's what it looked like. It was really good. And here I am with my silverware drawer. I like sling that thing open so many times.
every every day just with mom life. You'll have to let me know if you guys eat dinner family style. Do you make everything at the counters and then go sit down to eat? How do you guys plate up your dinners? We usually make it all at the counter and sit down as a family to eat dinner. It's very important for us to eat dinner as a family, especially the four of us. With my husband gone so much with work sometimes that we miss that. And I feel like it is one of the most important things I remember from my childhood. So it's something I really want to continue with our family. So or I should say, I tend to plate everything up because our kitchen isn't really that big. It flows fairly well. In such a small space, but it's real easy to have too many cooks in our kitchen. There's either right at the stove, right at the sink, otherwise you're whacking someone in the elbow, and it's a lovely time if you catch my drift. So I think here I am making my plate, and it was such a good dinner, friends. And then here's a look at our finished bread. Thank you for joining me, friends. Have a good one.